Cassettes are coming back, baby, and I am all for it. Kids today can't get enough of analog tech, and I have to say, I never thought I would see the return of cassettes because they can be finicky, and sometimes they'll even destroy themselves by unspooling inside your cassette deck. They are little musical time bombs. It's the enjoyment of the music you love coupled with an element of danger. It's thrilling. This right here is the Maxell Remix, a wireless portable cassette player designed to capitalize on the return of the cassette. It charges via USB-C, so you don't need to keep AA or AAA batteries on hand like we used to back in the day. It also connects to your modern wireless Bluetooth headphones, so you don't need to worry about your headphones being violently ripped from your head because the cord caught on a doorknob as you passed by. You can still connect normal wired headphones. If you want to, I guess it'll definitely help set the mood, and if you get a genuine pair of portable cassette player headphones from the 80s or 90s, you'll wonder how in the hell anyone could wear them for any length of time. Seriously, those old stock headphones that were packed in were among the most uncomfortable tech that we used to subject ourselves to on a regular basis back in the day. You can still find them occasionally at thrift stores, and if you do come across a pair, throw caution to the wind and buy them. Wear them around for a little while and feel them tearing into your scalp with their little bare metal crosspiece, and let them pinch your skull uncomfortably until you feel like your head has been in a vice.
Listen, do you hear? That is the sound of ultimate suffering.
The price we paid to be cool, or in my case, to try to be cool, was astonishing. I used to fall asleep with those craptacular headphones on and wake up to find my sleep paralysis demon standing over me, looking concerned. The Maxell Remix is one of many modern cassette players, and I already know what you're writing in the comments, so don't even bother. I also watch Tech Moan videos. I think he's great. He's brilliant. He's probably the person I trust more than anyone online when it comes to cassette player recommendations. But I'm gonna get it out of the way right now. Yes, this seemingly uses the same mechanism as all the other modern cassette players. And yes, I am fully aware that it is not at the same caliber as the ones you'll find in like a Nakamichi Dragon. I'm gonna say it right now and right here. I honestly don't think it matters in the least. If you're an audiophile, why are you listening to cassettes in the first place, you freaking weirdo?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
And furthermore, you probably already have a vintage cassette deck, or you don't have any cassette player at all, and you just want to sound off in the comments below, which is fine. I welcome a rousing discourse where we can all shop together in the marketplace of ideas. So here's why I don't think the mechanism matters at all. The revival of cassette releases isn't about music quality at all. If it were, people would only concern themselves with really expensive reel-to-reel recordings and not these cheapo tapes my friends and I used to all keep in our cars. The revival of cassette tapes is perfectly in line with the youth's current passion for all things 1990s and early 2000s. I am completely in favor of Gen Z being into the 90s because I finally have something in common with my kids. I am one step closer to being able to have a meaningful conversation with them.
Where's my dad? I'm all alone.
That is a joke. I have a great relationship with my kids. I love you guys. Aww. But it is primarily this obsession with a past they never experienced, coupled with the wistful nostalgia of Gen Xers as they enter their sunset period of their lives, that's brought cassettes back from the dead.
Great Scott.
Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend album was released on cassette. The soundtrack to that new Michael Jackson movie is available, and tons of older albums are getting new releases on tape. For a lot of kids entering their early 20s, this is a technology they might only have the slightest memory of experiencing, if they experienced it at all. And unlike the 8-track format, which never saw a resurgence because it sucks too much, the compact cassette, that's what the format is actually called, sucks just enough to be interesting, but not so much it's completely unlistenable. Mostly. I am delighted by this, by the way. I have an awesome tape collection, and I have some really sweet vintage tape decks, including an Onkyo dual deck I use for making mixtapes.
Well, you went through all this time and effort to make this tape for me.
No, seriously, as well as a beautiful silver-faced Nakamichi BX1 I use for listening to my tapes on my vintage hi-fi setup. So So back to my earlier bombshell statement that I don't think it matters that Maxell is using the only cassette player mechanism still being manufactured on planet Earth in the year 2026. First and foremost, as someone who has a decent amount of experience with vintage stereo and portable cassette players, they are a nightmare. The collector market for desirable Walkmen, and other portable tape players have pretty much priced anyone out. You know that gorgeous Iowa Marty McFly carries in Back to the Future? That unit, an Iowa HSP02MK2, is impossible to find. And if you do come across one on eBay, expect to pay a few $100s. Even less famous players are expensive because there's a whole collector community out there obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with them, but I'm not going to spend the money. I'll just appreciate them from afar. If you do happen to come across a vintage Walkman or tape player at a thrift store or a yard sale, 99.9% of the time you are going to get home and discover it does not work at all. Or it kind of works and it sounds like hot buttered ass. Sometimes the battery compartment will be filled with a pair of long exploded batteries. That's fun. The contents of which have leaked into the delicate components and corroded them into oblivion. More frequently, the rubber belts needed to run the mechanism have turned into a tar-like glue substance and need to be completely 100% cleaned out and removed, then replaced. Even if you do find a working vintage portable cassette player, time is not on your side. Those belts are ready to snap at a moment's notice. I've successfully replaced and cleaned the belts on quite a few cassette decks in my day. My BX1, for example, was a steal at $10 because it, quote, powered on, but didn't play. Now, for someone like me, an old chunk of coal who just loves to open things up and tinker with them, it is a price I'm willing to pay. For everyone else, hard to say, but I have a strong feeling right down here in my belly that the kind of person who just bought a new release cassette of Taylor Swift's Midnights probably doesn't want to track down PDFs of the service manual for a vintage cassette player so they can try to replace the belts which you can buy on eBay from other old chunks of coal. So that brings me here, to the Maxell. It does exactly what you expect a cassette player to do. It plays cassettes. It's so literal. It fast forwards them. It rewinds them. And you can make them stop with a convenient stop button. Or you can just wait for the tape to end and it will stop itself. There's no frills here, just plain old mechanical buttons doing plain old mechanical button things. There's no Dolby noise reduction here, no built-in equalizer. There's no app you can use to adjust it. It's just a tape player that also has Bluetooth connectivity and a rechargeable battery. The battery inside is 1100 milliamp hour, which is significantly lower than the capacity of a regular AA battery, but who cares? You never need to replace them, you just recharge it. You never have to worry about finding the forbidden green sugar crystals from an exploded pair of batteries inside the battery compartment either, because there's no AA batteries and there's no battery compartment. The sound quality from the Maxell Remix is exactly what I was expecting from a device like this, which is to say it is not great. Big shrug, but listen, as much as it drives me insane, people listen to music from their phone speakers now, so a high fidelity audio experience just isn't a priority for most people. Honestly, the fact cassettes sound kind of crappy, even on good equipment, is part of the reason people like them, for the same reason some people love the crackle and pop of a poorly cared for vinyl record. This goes a little beyond just the normal tape hiss though. You can actually hear the mechanism spinning away, flinging electromagnetic waves into the audio components and getting in the way of my vintage copy of Soundgarden's Super Unknown, which I have right here. Which, by the way, is a chrome tape, which isn't supported by the Maxell. It still plays just like normal, but without the audio benefits afforded by chrome tape. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, I have a big old collection of vintage tapes, so of course they sound bad. Well, I'm playing 12D chess here, and I popped in the cassette release of my friend Bill's ambient album, Hopes and Theory. The noise is still there. In fact, it's the exact noise I hear in all the other tapes, noise generated by the mechanism itself. So there's that. Doesn't matter if the tape is old or the tape is new, you're still gonna hear that horrible sound. Basically, if you're looking for an audiophile's cassette deck, you're gonna have to save your pennies to buy a Nakamichi Dragon or a BX1, like me. Did I mention I restored a BX1? I think maybe I did. Also, they don't make pennies anymore, so the bag's on me. However, if you're looking for a fun piece of throwback tech that looks sleek, connects to your existing Bluetooth headset, and even has a clip on it so you can stow it on the belt of your spandex unitard for your aerobics class, dude, this is it. There are a bunch of portable tape decks out there, but this is the one I recommend just for the rechargeable battery and the wireless connectivity. It is far from perfect, but that's kind of the point of cassette tapes in 2026. They're fun and interesting, and they look cool, and you have to use a pencil to make sure they're torqued up properly before you play them. It's intentional, but not as intentional as vinyl, and besides, you can't jazzercise with a portable record player anyway. You would skip all over the darn place. For more modern retro tech, check out my review of the Commodore 64 Ultimate, and for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.